So here's the top 3 reasons that people don't click ads, or they don't convert on an ad, whether it's an Instagram ad, Facebook ad, honestly a YouTube ad, really any kind of digital ad. These are the top 3 reasons that someone will either completely skip the ad and not click at all, or they'll click but they won't do something. And so if that's happening to you, then these are the areas that you should be optimizing. And by optimizing, I mean you should be aiming for at least a click-through rate of over 3%, which is the rate of people seeing the ad to clicking on the ad or doing what you want them to do is 3% or higher. And at least I would say a conversion rate on your page of anywhere from like 1% to 20%, let's say. Ideally, obviously, if it's closer to 20, that's good, but that's very specific circumstances. At the very least, you know, 3% is like, okay, cool, that's doing good. And by that I mean like after they click the ad and they see your opt-in form, or they see your page, or they land on the product site, that they are converting at that rate. If neither of those things are happening, try these 3, look at these 3 specific areas, and hopefully it'll help. So the first one is the headline, or the first line of the ad. It doesn't need to be the headline at the bottom where like usually people will click the ad, but the first line of the copy is so important, and it will take a few rounds of iteration before it can get there, and just generally a good amount of testing. So you want to A, test a few things, B, run it by people and see what they think, or at least either launch the ad, and if again these things aren't happening, like you're not getting the click-through rate that you want or the conversions that you want, then it's good to change up the copy and really look at that headline. I was looking at someone's ads this morning, and right away it was clear that this headline just didn't make any sense. Like, you have to think when you're running paid social that people are distracted, that they are looking at other things, that they are in a moment where they're just not fully engaged because they're scrolling. And each platform obviously has a different degree to which this is true. For instance, I was watching YouTube the other day, because that's a platform I spend probably most of my time, and I got an ad in the middle of one of the videos I was watching, and I watched a lot of it. It was a 27-minute ad, and I probably watched 20 minutes of it until the pitch at the end, knowing I wasn't going to do anything. But that's a very specific strategy, and I feel like the guy whose ad it was, he has been doing this kind of stuff for a long time, and it was also an ad about marketing, so I was very interested because I wanted to hear what he was saying. But it just shows you that if you have a good opening line, and you can basically have people watching 27-minute videos in the middle of other YouTube videos that they were originally watching, right? But even from a Facebook and Instagram perspective, that line, the opening line, is so important. The opening line of either the video, which I'll get into in a second, or just the opening line of that copy is going to make or break whether they read the rest of it. And so going back to this ad I was looking at this morning, it just wasn't compelling, and it wasn't interesting, and it was just one line, and it didn't really hit on any emotions. It hit on some pain, which is decent, because it was this company helps people. It's a sports company, so I don't want to get into too many details, but they help people get better at a specific sport. So they did use the pain of not being good at the sport in the line, but it just wasn't a good line. And they were only running 2 ads, like 2 specific creatives and copy. So I suggested that they fix that copy. So anyway, the first one is the opening copy line, and the headline as the biggest reason people are overlooking the ads or not converting. The second thing is the still that you're using, so the actual image that you are using, or the thumbnail of the video. So when I will put up an ad for somebody, or I'm working with someone on their ads, and we put up a video as the ad, because those ads tend to do the best, I go in and I actually change the thumbnail, unless I'm using an ad that has already been on their Instagram page, in which case the thumbnail's already been selected and I can't change it. But regardless if you're putting it out organic, you should be changing the thumbnail of the video, because it does actually make a difference when people are scrolling. And then if you have a good thumbnail and people stop, and the video starts right away, those first like 2 or 3 seconds are everything. You got to get them in with some good scripting, or you've got to really like just you have to make it super interesting. It has to be compelling. It doesn't have to be fast. Sorry, there's some wind going on here. It doesn't have to be like a super speedy dopamine style hit video, but it does have to be intriguing enough. The shots, and they've tested this many times, that the angle at which you have your content makes a huge difference in how many views it gets. Like, and by angle, I just mean like how you've actually shot something. So if it's not a talking head video, the actual angle and the quality that it looks like, you need it, there needs product market fit in that domain too. It's got to be the right kind of content for the right sort of person, and then people will watch it and ideally then convert further on. So that's the second thing, is the thumbnail of the video and then those first 3 seconds, or the still image itself. But if it's a video, like, you don't want a thumbnail and then it start with silence, or like just slow, unless you've already built up a great audience, like you're a personal brand, everybody loves you. As soon as they see your face, they're like, I have to watch this guy's stuff. But if that's not the case, and it's like a product or a service business, it's like, you need something interesting, you need motion, you need storytelling, like someone's going somewhere to do something. You need to open a story loop enough where people are like, I want to see what's happening here. And usually they'll watch the video after they've scanned a bit of the copywriting, so that's why the copywriting is important. And then the final thing is, in terms of how to get more people to click on your ads and how to make them convert better, is there needs to be a synergetic relationship between the ad and the landing page. So that was another thing that was happening on these ads I was looking at this morning. Basically, they're advertising one thing, and it says, here's what this is about, and here's the copy. But then you click to where you're supposed to convert. In this case, it was a lead form. So, they're asking for customer information inside Facebook and Instagram. But then what it says on the lead form isn't what it said in the ad. Like, obviously you need to change it up a bit, but those need to be consistent offers. And like, I've seen this again and again and again. People will run ads and then to go to a landing page, and the landing page will have like a slightly different position or a slightly different message, or a completely different message, to be honest. It's like, for instance, okay, so in an example, let's say the ad says, let's say it's a roofing company. Just give an example. Roofing company, and the ad says, do you need a new roof for because it's water damaged? Fill out this form, and we'll give you a quote on how much it is to fix a roof that's had a leak. Cool. Then they click on the ad and they go to the landing page, or they click on the opt-in, and it says like, is your get 20% off our latest wood grain. And it's like, that just won't, the messaging, it just won't. People will not do it. Some people might, but a lot of people won't. And so when you are thinking of these ads, just really make sure, like when you're running paid digital, really make sure that those things connect. You can run many, many offers, and like, as I'm in the space more and I see more ads that people are running at different levels, some people who are doing really well are running many, many angles to many different landing pages all at the same time, because those things are so important. So those are 3 things that you can do to make your ads convert better, to increase your click-through rates, lower your cost per click, decrease ad spend, increase engagement, and generally have higher conversion rates and make more sales. All right, see you in another one.